Hello everyone! Thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Shannon, and today I'm going to be finishing an old abandoned piece from my mountain of old abandoned pieces. I have a bad habit of starting a piece, getting distracted and never touching it again, and ending up with tons and tons of half-started pieces and barely getting anything finished. So today I want to go through some of my old pieces, see if I can find one to actually finish. So today I'm going to be finishing this old screenshot repaint of Bloom from Winx. It's in gouache and it's on this watercolor paper that I don't really like. It's a more like cheap watercolor paper that can be kind of hard to work with, and it just wasn't working the way I wanted it to. So instead of working with this paper anymore and just getting frustrated, I'm going to finish this one digitally instead. I've been doing a lot more digital painting lately than traditional. It's easier to set up, it's easier to record, so I figured it would work best for this. So you see I've got my reference image here on the right. I was pretty early in the process of this piece when I abandoned it, so I'm just sketching it over, trying to figure out where I like everything before doing the lines. This is a little new to me, finishing a sketch before starting to color it. I always want to jump right into the color, but making sure I have a good foundation first is pretty important. I'm actually liking a lot of my finished pieces a lot more, trying to be a little more patient. This piece was actually super quick. I tend to take forever just tweaking little details, but turns out getting those details lined out in the sketch saves me that time a lot. So for my lines, I just kind of pick a random color and then I'll go over it later with a color that kind of matches what it's outlining. You'll see later. A lot of people use a multiply layer, which is cool, but I usually like to work on as few layers as possible, and when you merge down that layer, at least on Krita, it just turns back into a normal layer, so it doesn't really work for me, and I like having more control over how the colors are going to look anyway. Alright, and that's the line work done. Not super clean, but I've kind of made peace with the fact that I'm never gonna be a super clean line art person. I'll have time to tweak it later. Now we're putting down some flat color, the best part of any digital painting. It's when you really start to see the piece coming together. And then the background, I just figured like a nice gradient would be fine. I don't really need the girls in the back. Bloom's the focus, and they're looking kind of not okay. I spent a while noodling on this background, changing the colors. I wanted some sort of texture, but I couldn't figure out what. I think I ended up with something pretty good in the end. I wanted to have like a frame for this, I guess vaguely referencing the gouache painting that it was meant to be, kind of like a Polaroid, if Polaroids were ever oriented this way. And just like that, it's finished, looking better than it probably ever would have as a gouache painting. I'm super happy with it. And that's gonna be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the process.